Right guys, so a bit of a mix up with breakfast today. I don't ever fancy yogurt or oats together. Randomly last night walking around the shops, I fancied yogurt and oats mixed together. So I've done that, 200 grams of yogurt, 100 grams of oats, 60 grams of blueberries, and I bought some, what is it called? Some muesli. It's like fake granola. It's not smooth granola, it's not got any sugar in it. So it's not half good. So that is going to be breakfast today. And we've got a special little snack in between the workout today. Me and Ellie are going to go to the gym and train the legs, and I'm going to talk you through 3 of my favourite exercises that I always include in my leg sessions. Okay, so stay tuned, it's going to be a good one, and I'll see you at the gym. This morning we're going with 2 scoops of the sour watermelon Legend. This is the only flavour I've got here, but I'm happy with that because this is my favourite and it's the OG. You know the drill, code Kieran for 20% off. We're training legs today, so we're going to need to be caffeinated up. I am going to probably take, actually, do you know what? I'm going to probably have one of these on the way to the gym. It's about a 10-minute drive, so I'll be drinking this on the way there. I know I probably shouldn't be promoting how much caffeine I'm going to be taking in a day, but anyway. And then I drink this nice and slowly through my workout, so we are going to double up on the caffeinated today, so it's going to be a mad one. Let's go. So you might be wondering, where's the outfit Kieran's got from? Well, you guys know it's obviously from Alphalete. This has just dropped. It's the full zip Elements jacket. It is a vibe with the brand new shorts with the underlayer. Size large, extra large. We also got a long sleeve t-shirt under this and an oversized t-shirt, and it's like 36 degrees. So we need to hurry up and get in the car and get some AC up in me. Let's go. We've got the Chevrolet Zap. We're zapping around Dubai everywhere in this bad boy. Almost forgot. Oh, snacks. Peanuts. Oh yeah, this is a massive car as well. So guys, I just did a quick warm up just to get the legs moving because obviously it is only, well, to be fair, it's 10:30, but we haven't been up long and we haven't done much movement today. So getting the movement going before we start doing leg sessions is always key. Now I brought some special treats today to have during my workout. We've literally just been here for 1 minute and 29 seconds and Ellie has already peaked. She's already peaked, but I'll show you what they are later, halfway through the workout, when I need a little bit of energy. Let me just get this done. I'm going to do 10 minutes of walking, a little bit of warm-up to the van, which I'll show you guys, and then we'll get going. Okay, so before every leg session, guys, you need to make sure your glutes are warmed up. And I actually sell these bands, so they've got Kieran Academy on them, so you guys can check this out on the website with a bunch of other stuff that you can get from there. You can get hats, hoodies, just take a little look. These are absolutely awesome for sort of warming up those glutes ready for when we're going to start doing the heavy pressing stuff. Now I'm a bit of I don't really do the most warm-ups that I probably should, but on leg day I make sure I go over the top with warm-ups because I don't want to be injured and I don't want to be out the gym for a long time. So things literally just like this, put it around those knees, open up those hips, really feel that in the glutes, especially us lads who neglect stuff like this. We will feel this a lot quicker than others. So I'm going to do a couple of sets of this and some various other stuff which we'll show you guys, and then we're going to go and get on with the workout. So I'm using this high price gun, guys, on my tibial anterior muscle. Now I had an injury 4 years ago. I done my ACL, and that muscle there is never recovered fully. So it kind of feels weird when I'm doing certain exercises. So I'm literally just getting some blood in there with this like little high price gun. This is another little great tool as well for warming up. So I'll literally rub over here for sort of 4 or 5 minutes, get some blood in there. I'll always do the other side as well, just to sort of match the two up, because it does feel so much different once you've done one and not the other. Then again, I'll just rub this over my quads, just like this. Obviously you've got different settings on here, but honestly, I've noticed a huge difference in moving this, not just with my lower body, but my upper body as well. When I trained chest on, I think it was Tuesday last week, whenever it was, or push on Thursday, I do this in between my sets, just to sort of get that extra sort of blood in there, and obviously getting more oxygenated blood to the muscle. Once you've just trained it, it's only going to start the recovery process a lot quicker. And I'm all about that right now because I'm training super hard and I want to make sure I can recover quickly and fully and get the best out of my sessions when I'm training. Okay, so this exercise is obviously a leg extension. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with this, but I actually include this as part of my warm-up. You'll see why in a second. If I start doing some now, normally like these muscle fibers here, they start shaking and quivering a little bit. That's because they're not warm. There's not enough blood in there yet. They're not sort of ready to get hammered. So I'll always include this in my warm-up exercise because after the sort of third or fourth set I've done, they stop moving around as weirdly like that. And that for me says they're warm, and it gives them sort of like the heads up that they're going to get battered through other exercises. Some are always different than others. Like this is my weak knee, and you can kind of see that these muscles here are having to work extra harder than these ones to sort of stabilize the knee, I guess. So I'm going to do 4 sets, sort of 15, 25 reps here, get the blood flowing. Oh yeah, it feels good. It feels pretty nice, guys, so I'm going to actually do 2 working sets, but just check out this muscle again here. I'm going to put a little video in the corner of the last set I did, or the first set I did, but you can kind of see these muscles quivering. Now they're warm. Keep an eye on them. They don't really work as hard. You can see that. They're just working as normal, whereas before when you first jumped on the machine, they were all over the place. So I've gone pretty heavy here. I'm just going to do like sort of 2 sets of 8, nice and heavy. Get that blood in there. And trust me, when you start doing stuff like leg pressing after this, you feel it in the right areas, guys. Now the warm-up's done, guys, we're moving on to a more of a compound movement. Now, I don't like squatting. Now, the reason I don't like squatting is because I've done my ACL in that knee a long time ago. But for me, if I was to squat any more than like 100, 110, 120 kg, it does feel, I feel very nervous doing that. Just in case something does go here, I've got a lot of weight on my back and I can't get out of that, and I'll probably do more damage to myself. So I tend to always include a 45-degree leg press in my sessions. If you think about the movement of a leg press, it's pretty much exactly the same as a squat, but you're in a much safer position, okay? So if anything does go wrong, you can quickly rack the weights. You've also got a little thing you can put in the middle here so that if you can't even rack the handles in, it doesn't come down and crush you. So for me, I feel a lot safer doing this exercise. You're still doing the same movement as you would do a squat, and you can do a hell of a lot more weight. I'm probably not gonna do it today, but I could probably do 400 kilo on this bad boy, you know? So it's a lot more weight, adding a decent amount of resistance. So that's one of the reasons why I don't squat, and I always include this exercise here, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it right now. Time for this hoodie to come off. But if you wanna go and grab yourself this hoodie, Elements full zip jacket, code Kieran, 10% off. You've got to make sure you set up this perfect though, so you can actually move the seat. So I like to keep that quite high up, make sure it's in sort of the same angle as the front pad, okay? We're doing quads today, so we're going to come quite a nice narrow grip. If you wanted to incorporate more hamstring and glutes, you can go a nice wide grip, but today we're doing it nice and close. The movement again on this is not going to be huge because obviously you prohibit how far you can come back with your midriff getting in the way. But come back nice and slow. You're going to come to around there when you start to feel your lower back and your bum come off the seat, and then press way. Bring down on these handles, pull down nice and hard, keep everything nice and tight. This is probably one of my favourite exercises to include on leg day. Exercise number 2, and why you should definitely include these in your leg day. So this is a Bulgarian split squat. If you guys don't know what this is, I'm going to show you how to perform it right now, but there's 2 very good reasons as to why you should include these in your leg days. Number 1, they are very difficult. Now normally the things that are difficult in life are always worth it in the end, all right? Now number 2 is that when we're sat down for long periods of the day, our hip flexors, which are our main muscle which help us do this, become very, very tight. Now, with this exercise, one of our legs is going to be behind us. That's going to really stretch out that hip flexor and actually help you out overall in terms of movement. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this right now. I've picked quite a heavy weight because I'm only going to be doing 2 working sets of this bad boy. So what you want to do, front leg in front of you, make sure your hips, your knees and your ankles are always in line, okay? But one leg's going to go back nice and flat on the bench. You can do it like this, but I prefer to have it flat on the bench here. You don't want this to be too narrow. If this is too narrow, guys, and sort of in line with your back foot, you're actually walking on kind of like a tightrope. So you want to put it out here. Now your main point of pressure on the floor is in your heel here and at the back of the legs here. That's going to stabilize us here. So we should better stay like this for as long as we like. Come down nice and slow. Here we are, we're getting that stretch right in that hip flexor. Knee is always in line with the toe, and you're going to press up, okay? Very, very difficult. You can do these body weight at home as well, but obviously we're going to add some weights today. Oh, Jesus. Wow.
It's important to take your time on those, guys. You know, like I just said at the start there, you need to make sure you've got the right amount of pressure on the front foot and the back foot. Otherwise, you're going to be all over the place from the start. I'd probably recommend just doing this body weight to start with, get used to the movement, and then slowly increase the weight of the dumbbell as you go on. 3 sets, 10 reps, each side. Absolute killer. I only did 30 kilo as well, but I felt it. A third reason as to why you should include the exercise is it's a unilateral movement. What that means is single side. I spoke about this quite a lot in my last video with Harley. When we become injured or when we get injured, guys, it's normally because of imbalances of muscles across the body, and that could be, you know, you're weaker on one side or stronger on the other, whatever it could be. So you're technically only as good as your weak side. So say if I could only do 10 reps on my left side, because my left side is my weakest, I only go and do 10 reps on my right side. So unilateral stuff is very, very important. So make sure you include that or those types of movements on leg day. You could do single leg press, single leg extension. Just make sure you are doing 1 or 2 unilateral stuff in your leg sessions. Exercise number 3. This is, again, another unilateral movement, so it's always good to include these. Another thing on unilateral stuff, why it's good to include unilateral stuff is when you do come to the second leg day of the week, when you're doing your big compound movements, your squats, even your deadlifts, anything like that, these movements right here are going to help you in the long run get bigger on those lifts, and do more weight. So this one here is a cable split squat, all right? Again, the weight's not going to be huge here, and we need to focus mainly on our hips, knees, ankles, toes, all being in line. This is the biggest thing that I can teach you guys, all right? With any movement you're doing with your legs, I don't want to see you guys squatting with your knees coming in like this. What is the point in squatting 3-4 plates aside when your knees are coming in like this? You're only causing damage to that inner ligament. Okay, so again, like we showed you at the start, the glute bands. Warming up those glutes are super important. That's going to make sure that we are warming these areas and our knees aren't going to start caving in. If your knees start caving in, the first thing I want you to think about is knees out, right to that little toe. Okay, so here we go. So what I want you to do, exactly like we just did with the Bulgarian split squat, but from this one we are moving forward. A lot of people say that you shouldn't have your knee go over your toe. That's absolutely fine. Your knee goes over your toe when you're going up the stairs every single day if you've got stairs, right? So it's not a problem. The problem is when they start caving in. Again, we want to make sure legs are quite wide apart so we're nice and stable. Knee goes over that toe, and what I want you to do from here is keep that foot flat and we're pushing back every time. Okay, your hand is on the opposite side to your knee. You're holding the cable, you're squeezing back. Keep that chest up, head up, really focus on pushing it right through that heel. And there are your 3 exercises for quad growth and stability.
So typically post-workout, I'll always have a bowl of cereal, some simple carbs. I've actually opted for these 91% whole grain oat Cheerios. I don't know if we can get these in the UK, but the reason being, they're quite low calorie, low in fats as well. The reason you have low fat post-workout is because fat slows down the absorption of protein, so we need to make sure that's quite minimal, at least on the first meal after you've trained. My next meal might have a few fats, but not too many. I'm gonna have this bowl of cereal, which is about 50 grams of Cheerios. I actually tend not to have much milk as well now. I used to have a shitload of milk, but now I don't. I'm then gonna have 2 scoops of Ghost protein powder, of course, just to get some more protein up in me because there's not a lot in this bowl here. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've taken away some good value from it. Please make sure you comment below anything you guys want to see more of on my channel. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Peace.